I'm excited to present SB 779. Even before the pandemic, Californians with barriers to employment, like our homeless population, our veterans, formerly incarcerated individuals, struggled to earn a living. One of the best ways to bounce back is to support programs that provide skills-based training and employment at the same time. Employment social enterprises, or ESEs, and worker co-ops provide innovative, evidence-based approaches to do this, and have shown they can decrease recidivism and also break cycles of homelessness. Well, SB 779 is not a mandate. It is a recognition of the importance of these models. There's a model like this by Roberts Enterprise Development Foundation that opened my eyes to social entrepreneurship 24 years ago. Models like Homeboy Industries that employ 600 recently incarcerated individuals or former gang members while putting them through an 18-month training program. Or Goodwill Enterprises that employs 19,000 Californians, 85% in this category. By increasing our commitment to earn and learn programs, we'll be giving these Californians with barriers to employment an opportunity to, over time, sustain themselves, reduce their dependence on government programs, and support their families. This bill, I'm happy to say, passed with unanimous bipartisan support out of the Senate Labor Committee. And colleagues, I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Senator Allen.
Okay. Well, Senator, I want to thank you for bringing your first bill to the floor today. It's my understanding you're changing various definitions to an act that means a lot to me. And so I think that this bill demands a little bit more scrutiny than some of our colleagues were going to provide. So, I'd like you to talk a little bit about some of the definitions. So which of the definitions that you're changing or adding to in the California Workforce and Innovation Opportunity Act, which of those definitions is your favorite change and why? Please justify that change as well.
Well, thank you, Senator. We're adding models like these employment social enterprises and co-op models to the definition of what can be an earn and learn program.
So, but why is that important to you, and why is that your favorite?
That is important, because that really enables, that's the heart of this bill, thank you, Senator, to provide more funding for these earn and learn programs. The Future of Work Commission just issued its final report and recommended that we do this, that the state move more support to these earn and learn programs, like employment social enterprises, and it's that language that allows us to do that.
And Madam President, I appreciate your indulgence, but the name employment social enterprise sounds extraordinarily bureaucratic to me, and I would like kind of a better understanding of who came up with this title and how it can possibly be justified. And with that, I'll reserve the rest of my questions.
Well, it was not me who came up with it. And it is, we do have a lot of acronyms in government, but it is a particularly apt one, that these are businesses that employ people while they train them.
Okay. Senator Hertzberg.
Yeah, a question, two questions actually for the author, if I can, Madam Chair.
Yes.
With respect to this, thank you very much. Will you take the questions?
Yes.
Thank you. With respect to the definition of these employment enterprises, social enterprises, it indicates two things that I think are critical here. One, that as the requirements say that it's evidence-based and utilizes data-driven policies, who makes such determinations is the case. And secondly, it broadly defines produces goods or provides services. Is there any limitations on what kind of goods? For example, can this program include the production of guns or bazookas or whatever? Is there some limitation in terms of your definitions? Questions to the author.
Well, thank you, Senator Hertzberg, my colleague, for your questions. The enterprises are not broadly defined in this provision, but over time, we want to support programs like I mentioned, Homeboy Industries, Goodwill Industries, the community housing partnerships in San Francisco that is Solutions SF, that employs formerly homeless individuals and trains them to be front desk workers. These are the kind of programs that are envisioned by this legislation.
Follow-up quick question, but is there a limitation? You just simply say services or goods. You indicate that what your intention is, but the language of the measure doesn't say that.
Well, since this is not a mandate, it is ultimately up to the local workforce development boards to issue that funding. So I will leave it to their discretion to leave out the kinds of businesses that you mentioned.
Senator Wiener and Senator Becker, if there are any further questions, if you'd like to answer those questions in your closing, that would be appropriate as well. Senator Wiener.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have a question for the author.
If he will so
Yes.
answer.
Yes, okay. So I noticed it has a definition of a, quote, worker cooperative, and that definition is in the corporations code. And I find that a little bit offensive because workers cooperative is about, power to the people, and the corporations code is sort of corporate. And so I'm just wondering how you justify defining something so important about a workers cooperative in the corporations code. Can you just justify that?
Well, in the interest of time, are there any further questions?
Let me see if there's any further discussion or debate, since I need to chair this. Is there any further discussion or debate? Seeing none, Senator Becker, you may wrap this all up by answering all those questions.
Well, thank you. Thanks to my colleagues for the gentle razzing here today on an important topic of these employment social enterprises. In response to my colleague from San Francisco's questions, I believe it's okay that the definitions in the corporations code. The point is these worker co-ops need to be supported and they need additional funding. Right now, about 1% of our workforce dollars go to these models. The Future Work Commission said that we should go up to 30% for these models. So in that context, with these comments, I respectfully ask for your aye vote. Thank you.
Well, Senator Becker, this was eligible for unanimous roll call. Let me see if there's any objection to us proceeding with it. Looks like there is an objection. There are more than one objection, so roll call, please.
Allen. Archuleta. Atkins. Aye. Bates. Becker. Aye. Borges. Bradford. Caballero. Cortese. Daly. Dodd. Durazo. Eggman. Glazer. Gonzalez. Grove. No. Hertzberg. Hueso. Hurtado. Jones. No. Kamlager. Laird. Leyva. McGuire. Aye. Melendez. Min. Newman. Nielsen. Aye. Ochoa Bogue. No. Pan. Portantino. Roth. Rubio. Skinner. Umberg. Wykowski. Wiener. Wilk. No.
Please call the Senator Hertzberg. Okay. What's that? Senator Hertzberg?
Make a motion for unanimous roll call.
Is there any objection to unanimous roll call? Ayes 36, no 0. Measure passes. Congratulations, Senator Becker.